In 1977, 20th Century Fox, surprised with the unprecedented success of George Lucas's Star Wars, was ready to greenlight any and every space adventure film on the table. The only finished script they had was for a strange little horror picture from the minds of Ronald Shusett and Dan O'Bannon. With the help of Ridley Scott, H.R. Giger, Ron Cobb, and countless others, that script would eventually become the greatest science fiction horror film of all time. These are 10 brilliant practical effects from Alien. Number 1. The Egg. In one of the film's most unsettling moments, Kane, played by the legendary John Hurt, shines a flashlight into the egg. We see the facehugger shudder slightly. How did they get the movement to look so lifelike? It's because it's really alive. Those are the hands of none other than the director of the film, Ridley Scott. For that shot, he simply put on latex gloves and stuck his hands inside the egg. What really sells the effect is the fact that it's obscured by the translucent plexiglass shell. I wanted to start off with this because it so perfectly illustrates something a lot of people don't realize about special effects. The best solution doesn't require mountains of cash or the latest technology, just the right amount of thought and planning. Number 2. The Facehugger. The moment in which the facehugger latches onto Kane's spacesuit passes so quickly and violently that we don't even think to question its realism. And why should we? It's a convincing effect, and it also has a simple explanation. The facehugger isn't jumping out at all, it's being pulled in. The footage is reversed, then immediately cuts to the creature already latched onto Kane's helmet. Such a simple solution, yet so effective. Number 3. The Space Jockey. Alien has a very clear division in aesthetics that can be attributed to the hiring of 2 different artists. H.R. Giger's work is extremely easy to point out given its often provocative, always macabre trademarks. The pilot of the derelict ship is very Giger in that it's difficult to discern what is or once was organic and what is part of the ship. This is partially due to the way that the prop was constructed. It's mostly a plaster structure, but there are animal bones built in, giving those details an uncanny level of realism. Number 4. The Derelict Ship. The Derelict Ship is another great example of Giger's design influence made manifest on screen with full-size interior sets on a sci-fi movie. That's enough to give a studio executive a heart attack. For the exterior, the massive model ship and the accompanying landscape are convincing on their own. Give them lots of fog, the right environmental sounds, and those beautiful interiors to cut to, and it's near perfect. Number 5. The Landing Party. When the team was building the exterior of the shuttlecraft, Scott realized that it was too small to properly fake using a forced perspective. It was only half the size it needed to be, so he got people half the size to be in the shot. The crew members in those spacesuits are actually children. The footage for this scene was filmed at 48 frames per second so that when it was slowed down to 24, the set appeared life-size and the kids appeared adult-size. Number 6. The Dissection of the Facehugger. This is my favorite effect in the entire film. We see how fleshy and vulnerable the creature is, luring us into a false sense of security for what happens next. The way they achieved that look? Seafood. Ridley Scott, the absolute madman, had the crew bring in a bucket of oysters, clams, and mussels to place inside the shell of the dead facehugger prop. He arranged it to his liking, and that's what we see in the final film. Number 7. Kane's Chestburster. Possibly the film's most iconic moment, and it was absolute hell to get right. The setup had John Hurt under the table with a prosthetic chest and lower body on top. The chestburster mechanic would not work. When it eventually did, it caught the cast by surprise. Lambert's shock is really Veronica Cartwright's shock. It feels so authentic because it is authentic. Number 8. The Perfect Organism. Sculpted by H.R. Giger himself, the original statue for the alien was cast into especially durable latex and made into a full-size wearable suit. Between the heavy jaw mechanics in the helmet and sweltering heat, suit actor Bolaji Badejo had to put up with unbearable conditions, yet he was possibly the most mature and committed person on that set. His performance was legendary, and the film would not have been the same without him. To learn more about Balaji Badejo's story and the production of the suit, I recommend the previous video I did on the story of the alien suit actor. Number 9. The Artificial Person. Ash assaults Ripley and would have killed her had Lambert and Parker not found them. When they attack Ash, it's revealed that he's an android sent by the company to ensure the safe capture of the alien. The disgusting synthetic liquid in this scene that looks like milk? It's actually milk. And the strange, vaguely organic cord sticking out of Ash's head is really made up of small clear marbles and a little bit of pasta. It's unclear what the cord's actual use is, but it fits aesthetically in the scene. The peculiar look of the thing makes our imaginations fill in the gap of what it could be. Number 10. The Nostromo. No horror movie is complete without a haunted house. The towering spires atop the spaceship are not unlike those you'd find on a Gothic church. That's exactly where the inspiration comes from. Although it becomes more and more menacing throughout the film, the Nostromo initially isn't a dangerous place at all. When we're first introduced to it, this spaceship is actually pretty boring. Up until Alien, space travel in film was seen with such fantasy, the majestic wonder of Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, the thrilling excitement of Lucas's Star Wars. But here, Ron Cobb's ship is designed as this mundane workplace with a blue-collar staff, a few suits from the company, and an undercurrent of social class tension between them. It's this realism that grounds the film from the very beginning and makes all the horrifying events that unfold feel authentic, like they could happen to you. Alien is my favorite horror movie of all time. I love every terrifying moment of this film. To me, it stands as an immortal testament to masterful special effects filmmaking techniques. It's a film full of incredible performances, clever writing, gorgeous music, and brilliant design. It's a shining example that anything imaginable can be realized on screen. Thank you for watching. Happy Alien Day, everyone. Be sure to come back for more videos soon. Stay tuned.